This morning we continue with our series of student chapel talks. Please welcome Stephen Linowes.
Morning, everyone. My name is Steve Linowes, and I'm here to speak to you about something I care very deeply about. A poll was done in the United States in 2005 that found 14% of American citizens had anti-Semitic views. When I heard this number, I was astonished. I, being a Jew living in such a small community of St. Johnsbury, it was difficult for me to understand the height of this issue. I've never personally experienced anti-Semitism. For that, I am grateful. The poll also found that within the past decade, there was an increase of anti-Semitism across the world. These numbers were most likely related to the debated Israeli and Palestinian conflict over the land of Israel. However, I'm not here to speak to you about this conflict. I'd like to talk to you about the increase of anti-Semitism across the world. Although this conflict does not directly affect our school, it is still necessary for us to understand the issues of discrimination, especially in a school as diverse as St. Johnsbury Academy. For those who are unaware, anti-Semitism is hostility or prejudice against the Jewish people. The most famous example of anti-Semitism that we as students know is Hitler's actions upon the Jews through the Holocaust and World War II. When Hitler gained power, he immediately sought to wipe out the entire Jewish population, killing close to 6 million. These murders were out of pure hatred of another group and belief that they were not worthy of living on earth. This hatred of a specific group of people has occurred throughout history, including the years of slavery and the oppressions of Africans simply because of their culture and skin color. Another example of this is that of Native Americans who were slaughtered for their land. These examples both have deep connections within the United States and have drastically shaped our society and world that we live in. Of course, times have changed over the years, and African Americans, along with Native Americans, have acquired freedoms and civil rights. These ethnic groups, however, continue to deal with the issue of racism, very similar to anti-Semitism with the Jews. In search for world peace, we need to look past differences of religious and cultural groups. It is amazing to think that even after these horrific actions brought about during World War II, that anti-Semitism is still an increasing issue throughout the world. Many well-known public figures have made public anti-Semitic remarks. Just last year, well-known reporter Helen Thomas spoke of the Holocaust, saying, "There's nothing wrong with remembering it, but why do we have to constantly remember it?" Saying this to a Jewish community is like asking African Americans if we have to remember the days of slavery. It's like asking we Americans if we should remember 9/11. It seems offensive for anyone to ask you not to remember your past or your history. I wonder if Ms. Thomas is aware that prior to World War II, the world Jewish population represented about 17 million, and by the end of the war, the population was slashed to 11 million. Most of the Jewish people living in Europe were either killed or fled. Today, the world Jewish population is about 13 million. Most live in either the United States or Israel. World War II was just 70 years ago. Jews living today witnessed the horror of the Holocaust, and many have parents and grandparents who told them of these events. Still others keep to themselves out of the fear history will repeat itself. As a Jewish person in a small community, I am grateful that I have not experienced anti-Semitism. I find people are curious about my religion or the fact that I can read an odd language with odd characters. But I don't know what I will encounter in college or life after that. The best that I can do is always be respectful and accept others no matter their color, religion, or cultural background. Here at St. Johnsbury, we have a rich history shining in sports, academics, and the arts. Our school is a source of pride throughout the whole state of Vermont. We invite and cherish our diversity. Given the discrimination going on throughout the world today, I find it fascinating that we have never had to deal with the problem as a serious issue here. Do not take the openness of St. J for granted. Wherever you end up, remember to respect others, no matter how much you might disagree with them. I encourage you to get a better understanding of one's culture before you label them. We will be a better, stronger community for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. A message is right on target and very well spoken. The job well done.